In this presentation, we're going to look at the Aba Women's Riot, or the Women's Riot of the old Eastern Nigeria. But basically, the riot started in Aba, the commercial city of Aba, which is in the present day Abia State. Well, somebody can even call it the Opobo riot in the sense that most of the rioting and acts of violence happened in the Opobo area. The riot saw women revolting against the colonial government. Most of the women that revolted were from the Aba region, the Owerri province, the Calabar area, the Yenegua side, Delta, and many other parts of what was known as Eastern Nigeria. And the basic cause of this problem was an attempt by the British to impose taxes on these women. The basic cause of this riot was an attempt by the British to impose taxes on women in the eastern region. Prior to this time, British had imposed taxes on the men. This didn't go down well with both the men and the women. But when they made an attempt to impose taxes on the women revolted. So the Abaya riot was essentially the riot of women in the Owerri and Calabar provinces of the eastern Nigeria in around 1929. The women's economic grievances was primarily about their petty trade. The expatriate firms participated in the petty trade and in some places monopolized it. At the tribunal which followed the riots, the women strongly opposed the firm's monopolization and control of businesses. So the basic cause of the riot was the direct concern of women with the introduction of taxation in the eastern Nigeria, which was an act that the indirect rule system of the British supported to get money with which to administer the region. The colonial government in 1927 carried out the assessment of the income of male adults throughout the eastern region without telling them the reason for that. This was followed up in 1928 by the imposition of a poll tax of 2.5 of the basic income of these male adults. The tax was against the wishes of the people, but they grudgingly agreed to pay. Then in 1929, the assistant district officer wanted to improve on the assessment of male adults and asked his warrant chiefs to include the assessment of such details as the number of wives, children, and domestic animals of each of these male adults. Well, when a warrant chief named Okugo was carrying out this assignment in a village near Aba, rumors spread that this would be followed by the taxation of women. Therefore, women in the Aba and Owerri province carried out violent demonstration during which warrant chiefs were molested, native courts burned down, and stores looted. The riots soon spread to Calabar and Opobo division, where they were so violent that police, under panic, shot into the crowds, thereby killing about 32 women and wounding many of them. A commission of inquiry was set up by the government of the British to look into the causes of the incident, and also to make recommendations, and also to lay blames on who erred and who didn't act very well. Well, the main direct result of the riot was that the warrant chief system was discarded. Some level of blames were laid on the warrant chiefs, in the sense that the colonial government blamed him for not following the right channel in doing this head count. So this made the discarding of the warrant chief system. Well, the warrant chief system was alien to the Easterners and was not accepted. A system whereby you gather some group of people or group of villages and put them under the control of a man, give him the title warrant chief, was alien to the people. And this didn't go down well when these warrant chiefs attempted to put up the assignment by counting people, counting male adults. By the end of the day, some level of taxes were imposed on them. But when they tried to repeat it on counting their wives and animals they have, they went through serious opposition. So, moreover, the riot caused the collapse of the indirect system, as it was seen that it could not work in the eastern Nigerian region, or the old eastern Nigeria. The indirect rule system was alien, and this riot made serious impact in rubbishing the indirect rule system, and brought in some fundamental reactions from these women, because they felt that by the end of the day, if their census is counted, there will be taxes imposed on them. Well, some thinkers have brought in some value points. For instance, Dr. Meek correctly pointed out that one striking feature of Igbo life was the keenness displayed by the women in their petty trade. And there were some monopolistic approaches brought in by some British firms or some European firms. They controlled businesses, thereby suffocating the businesses of these women. Now, the same women whose businesses were suffocated were also made to, their husbands were made to pay taxes. And there was an attempt also to impose taxes on them. And this didn't go down well with them. So they did all they could do by rioting. This riot got serious to that they covered the whole of the old eastern Nigeria. In 1927, there was a depression in the palm oil trade, as it was true of the world trade generally. It was at this time that the direct taxation was first introduced in the eastern Nigeria. The tax was, in fact, first collected from men in 1928, a year before the women's head count. And this didn't go down well with the Easterners. At this point, at the time of the depression, duties on goods made prices to rise. This perhaps showed clearly the economic conditions of the people in such an area where depression had hit the basis of economy. The palm oil trade was seriously affected. Secondly, competition of foreign firms attempted to deny the women participation in retail trade. So with the attempt by Europeans, British precisely, to impose unnecessary taxes on the women of the eastern part of what is known today as Nigeria, led to the resistance of these women, which resulted in rioting. Please subscribe to our channel and click on the notification so that when we bring any new content on African history, you will be notified. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. Continue to stay with us. Please subscribe and stay with us.